and I'm gonna make me a hot cup of joe.
Hey, what the hell is that?
Alright, grab your blankie. Grab blankie.
Hey, I'll go in the hole. I have my hole.
Okay, and your cars. You got that? There we go. Alright. Which one? Alright. In case you are not aware, my name is Gabrielle Williams. I'm a deviation intuitive, and this is Spiritual Chatter Sunday. Spiritual Chatter Sunday, where we do a lot of weird things. You can get a reading here sometimes. You might hear my children sometimes, like you are right now. Is there a snack that you want, my son? Wild hairdos are accepted in all forms. Alright. What you got going on, Ronan? Okay, I'm gonna plug you guys in right here because my phone thinks this is probably the safest area. And you might hear whining of a dog in the background. That is my dog. You mean Jello? Yes, you can have some Jello. Hey, get your blankie. Yeah. Oh. Good morning. Good morning. You get to see me in my rare form. It's called a mother. There you go. Alrighty. Alright. Eyeballs are feeling it this morning. We had a very late night with all the kids, and this is the side effect of late night Gabby. So, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to get my cup onto the coffee maker, and we can get started. I think I'm going to go with a toasted marshmallow drink today, guys. Toasted marshmallow mocha. Anybody else got a fantastic beverage they would like to share with the class? Alright. It's okay. Not everybody's a morning person, so if you're not talking in chat, I feel you. I used to be one of those people, and then if you met my mother, you would know why I turned into a morning person. My mother was a super morning person. She made it very clear that we all needed to be on that schedule. So, it worked to my benefit though. Alrighty. Give me just another 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. See, I said about 2 minutes. Works in our favor. All right. The coffee is almost ready. This is literally going to be my lifesaver this morning. And apparently my phone hates my kitchen. That's awesome. So what I was looking forward to all day. Ooh. All right, cool. You get to see me in my very raw form this morning. I was snuggling with the husband, and I was like, okay, I can do this. I can get up this morning. Luckily I did, because honestly we would not be here this morning. I love spending time with my family in the morning. It's so enjoyable. I bet a lot of you guys can agree. It's a lot of fun. Snuggles are totally appreciated, and it's just so nice to just like start the day so chill, you know? Alright, I got my sugar, I got my cinnamon. Is there anything else you want to add into this beverage, Gabby? Nope. Okay, we're gonna go black. Go black. Whoop, whoop. Alright, we're gonna get out of this kitchen because it's already starting to act like a Spas Nugget. Alright, here we go. Like I said, this is raw form Gabby. You are seeing everything how I usually start my morning. So hope this doesn't change anything. But this is how we run the world in here. Alright. Thank you guys for hopping on. I really appreciate this. Okay, here we go. If you hear a boy in the background, that is my son. He is 2 years old, so he might need our undivided attention. This is a mural out of pencil that my kids have decided to do on my wall. What can I say? We're pretty artistic people in this house. Art therapy is hugely key in our family because a lot of us have emotions and we thrive in Artland. So, alright. So I'm going to take a sip of this Joe after I mix these cards a little bit so that we can have a beautiful, fantastic reading time. Good job, buddy. You gonna put it in the trash can, okay? Good job. Okay. The red trash? Yes, you can put it in the red trash can. Where's blue? No, that's red. Yeah. You can see parenthood at its finest. Oh. Oh, the Page of Swords. Ooh. Goodness gracious. Okay. Page of Swords. I actually learned about this card yesterday again with a friend. She was doing a whole bunch of things on tarot cards, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't listened to somebody else's opinion on tarot cards in a long time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump on there, and I stayed there for 5 hours. 5 hours. It was glorious. Hey, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ronan, come here. Come here. Come here. I'll help you. Come here. There you go. You got it? We might have a co-pilot, guys. I apologize. Alright. Because he's supposed to be sleeping. Even when my kids are all asleep around this time. Yeah, you're not sleeping today, huh? Setting my intentions in my coffee. If you guys have a mimosa, you can just started out right. 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm betting you. If you are drinking orange juice or... Ronan, I love you. Do we turn a show on for you? I might have to pacify him with something, guys, so give me a second. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you guys. Alright guys, we've done the impossible. We pacified a 2-year-old. Woohoo! With a TV show, obviously, but it worked. Okay, so, yes, so as I was saying, yesterday I happened to be on top on a very important unction that I like to kind of look at somebody else's perspective on tarot, and luckily a friend of mine was doing a class. This is her level 2 of this class. She's really good at teaching. Great woman. Highly recommended if you ever get a chance. We're actually collabing today around 1:30. And you'll see it on Facebook if you guys want to join on. But yeah, so we were talking about the different suits and the major arcana and the minor arcana. And I was so surprised on how much I remember from these classes, because I've taken classes with her before. Honestly, I think I've taken this class particularly 4 times in a row, because I really wanted to know it. I really wanted to understand each suit, each thing. And the funny thing is, we were talking about swords almost at the end of the class, and swords tend to be the hardest according to her perspective. And I think that swords are they're only hard if you don't realize that, I think this is really from my perspective, because I kind of feel like an air sign sometimes on this stuff, because this is what swords are. Swords are the element of air. So when you see a sword card come in, it usually has to do with something about your thoughts, something mental about what's going on in your life. And when you add another card to it, like let's say, actually this is perfect. Alright, this is actually really perfect because the bottom card is the Ace of Wands. So will work out really well. Okay, so the Ace of Wands, this is a really cool deck. I'll show you guys this one too, because I think if you're really into fantasy and really odd looking oddities, this deck is for you. So I'm not sponsored, and just so you're aware, because I do have YouTube on here. But this is Universal Fantasy Tarot by Pablo Martiano. And he's a pretty cool guy. Really beautiful artiste. I think he's Italian. It just sounds like an Italian last name. Anyway, I might be wrong though, so don't quote me on that. But, yeah. So, it's a really cool deck. I think it's really highly recommended. But back to the topic at hand, because I'm kind of a rabbit trailer, so if you don't kind of like that, I'm sorry. It's kind of how I run my world, especially since I'm like the mom of 3 kids under the age of 6. So one person's brain goes that way, another person's brain goes that way, and the other one's just sitting there trying to figure out what the heck I'm saying to both of them. It kind of works out that way. But like I said, if you're new and you just popped on, grab yourself a fancy beverage. We are having Spiritual Chatter Sunday. I will be doing some readings later on during the event of the century over here. But right now, we're kind of conversing about cards, especially tarot cards in particular, because I was explaining about this really cool event that I happened to witness yesterday. But yeah, she was saying something about swords are kind of complicated. And I was like, no, not really, because if you feel like more of an air sign, you're going to get those more, because most of us, we're in our heads a lot, so we're going to understand what each sword card means, hypothetically. And so, at least that's my perspective. It can be different for another person. Even if you are an air sign, sometimes hearing another air card coming out at you can kind of feel like it's a trigger. So don't let your dreams be dreams about that situation, because really the trigger is just trying to show you where your flaws are. It really isn't anything trying to hurt you at all. So like I was saying earlier, so if you add a different type of card or suit to the sword card, the one about thoughts, air sign, perspective. Hello, little spider. There's a spider in my little area. Okay, spider, let's take you outside. There you go. Enjoy. Yeah. So, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, wands are considered fire. They're also considered an ambition. So, it's the spark that gets you going, the fire under your ass, basically. And as you can tell, there's a big, huge, gigantic fire telling this beast to go away, go do something new. And so, if you're having the Page of Swords, which pages and princesses, so if you have like other decks that have weird names, there's other decks that use different hierarchies for their little cards here, because the hierarchy starts with you got your page or your princess, you got your prince or your knight, and then you have your queen and king. Queen and king never really change. But your other 2 do. They kind of have their own little focus on reality, and that's kind of how they roll. But with a page or a princess, they're usually the immaturity of those elements or those signs. So it's a teenage energy. And this is not only from a perspective of what my beautiful friend taught me when I first started, but it's also something I started to develop on my own the last couple years. I kind of noticed there was a system. And the system usually started right after, like, you can, when you use regular cards, like card deck, like from like player cards basically, the symbology is there too. For my research, it's very similar. Except you have your jack, your queen, and your king. And those are usually, you don't have a teenage energy in there, except for the jokers. But the jokers, there's only 2 jokers in that deck because it's a 52 pickup. So it doesn't really give you that teenage energy unless you're using those specifically. And even since there's only 2 jokers in that playing deck, you're gonna have to like either do a reversal on those 2 for them to actually work out in your favor for a teenage energy in that playing card deck. The more you know. So yeah. So back to the teenage energy at hand. So if we have these 2 cards and they happen to fall out at the same time, hypothetically, this sword, Page of Swords, basically is implying that your thoughts have no filter right now. Because if you think about a teenager and their mental capacity to not filter what they're saying, how they're feeling, they kind of have this kind of like open valve basically, and they will spout anything that's happening in their head. And if you were a teenager back then, you probably did too. Like, you probably told your mom off a bunch of times. Like, I'm an adult, leave me the fuck alone. And you probably told your dad, like, you're not the boss of me. Stepdads, stepmoms, you name it, if they didn't really function, that's kind of just what it was. And so, with that being said, your newfound ambition, so the new fire under your ass, is actually an unfiltered one. It's all these unfiltered thoughts that you've been gathering up for so long that finally it's kicking you in the butt. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go. All these new thoughts, let's go. Let's take care of it. All these unfiltered thoughts are going to lead me to my ambition. The start of my new ambition. Let's go. And that's kind of where that is, right there. Because you see, he's ready to take on the world. Doesn't really have a care in the world, not wearing the proper armor. You noticed? He has it all dancing in the wind in the background over there. Like, somebody tried handing him some kind of shielding, and he's like, do I really need this? That's kind of what that is. So, a little tidbit on tarot pairing. Let's see what else. So we got, like they said earlier, there's a major arcana and there's a minor arcana. Major arcana is pretty much from the Fool to the World, and it's basically their major events that could catalyst you into something. The minor arcana is kind of this detail-orientated pieces that help you understand why you're getting to that event, or they coexist with that event. So if you have, let's say, the sun is supposed to promote happiness and joy and blessings and things working out in your favor, basically. Okay, and then let's say you have the Death card. And since you've been in so much happiness, there's going to be a cycle that changes for you. Either a rebirth situation where you drop one cycle and you enter the other, and you go into a better one for yourself. Death doesn't always mean death. Death can also mean rebirth. Metamorphosis, basically. It's more of like a snake situation where you're shedding your skin. So that's kind of something to think about when you're looking at the Death card. Look at it from a different perspective. A lot of people have realized that the Death card isn't always meant for death. I personally don't read about death. I don't do death. I don't do, what else? I don't do health issues. If I happen to talk about a health issue, it's only because somebody opened their gates too wide and it happened to pop out. But even then, I'm very cautious because I'm not a doctor. And a lot of people kind of need that in their life. They need a doctor to tell them those things. I don't really need to be telling them their stuff. If I have a doctor-like card in here, so let's say, I'm going to try to find the doctor card. Bear with me, guys. There's always a doctor card in here. So I think it's like the Four of Pentacles, basically. Like if you need assistance. Because pentacles are like that pivotal point in your life. They are the materialistic items. They're also the symbolicism for the element of earth. So they are literally solid. They're solidified. But, side note, materialistic items can also be your time, Because once you've allotted a certain amount of time, it becomes solidified, it becomes materialistic. So you have time, energy, your home, your job, and money or finances. Those are like the 5 major things that normally would pop up in a pentacle. Also, this is the little, like, if you do a bonus action on D&D, this would be number 6 of that little cast off. So basically, the 6th one would be health, because health could be materialistic. If you have to use your finances to get healthy, or like earlier you saw the wands. So let's say here, let's find a wand. Come here, wands. Where are you at? So, okay, actually, this is perfect. All right. Okay, so we are going to have, let's say, Temperance, which is basically like a balancing card. It's really good to have. All right, and we're going to have the Queen of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. Now, this is kind of what I'm explaining about health. So I'm going to show you guys this, and we'll go from there. Also, this is another way for you to do cards. You don't have to shuffle. You can go through the entire deck, and things will pop up in your favor on what's going on with the people in your life. There's all different ways. See? Ace of Cups. Somebody's having new emotions about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is something probably you guys have never really heard about before. Maybe this is starting to start something, or you're feeling very overwhelmed. And I do apologize. I'm probably spilling a lot at you guys. But I kind of want to give you guys a perspective on this, because if I got something from somebody that I don't usually hang out with very often, but we're really we still keep in touch, I feel like this is something that you guys probably would benefit from too. Because like I said, my mission and my goal here on Melody of Spirit readings, etc., whether it be a private reading with you, or even just having a live reading with you guys, like a small one, not even that big, or giving you guys information about tarot or oracle, this is something that everybody is able to do. Ironically, it is literally a gift everybody can do. We all have these abilities. It's just finding the right people that click with you to teach you. And if I could be that person for this short segment of my life, I would love to do that for you. We might have a 2-year-old helper, so just bear with me. Okay, so let's say you had gotten, let's say, the 3 of Pentacles first. Honey, that's Sissy's boot. Are you going to wear it? Okay. I'll hold your hand and you put your foot in, okay? But you're not going outside right now. You know that, right? Can you go put them away in the shoe basket? Thanks, buddy. You're the best. I have the best 2-year-old. He loves putting things away. It makes my day. All right. So let's see here. You see how okay, this is the 3 of Pentacles. So what does this look like to you? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds or a minute out of this, and just give me, what do you see in this card? If you're not too shy, go ahead and comment, because this is going to make your day. Okay, did you get anything? If you write it down on your own time, it's cool. You don't have to say anything out loud. I understand a lot of people are not morning people. All right. So the first thing that pops out to me specifically when I look at this card, and it seems to be the only thing that really pops him out besides the guy taking notes, is this guy is trying to escape or get into something. What if he was trapped in this tower and they all told him he couldn't get out, but he found a way. He found this this saw or something and started to cut through. So this to me would feel like a breakthrough. Like whatever lists of shit that they gave you to say that there's like this whole entire planning situation of what they're trying to do before they let you in. That's what this feels like to me. Now, then you add the Queen of Wands. Now, like I said earlier, the Queen of Wands, or like the King, Queen, Prince, Knight, or
See my head, Mom.
what, baby?
See my head.
Yeah, I can check your head. Come here. Thank you for being so patient, guys. I appreciate you. You're not hot, baby. You're doing just fine. Hey, Ronan. No, thank you. Yeah, it's all broken. Mommy's gonna have to take care of that later. Okay. So back to the queen. So each of these, so a king, queen, and prince, knight. Those are usually a zodiac sign. The pages or the princesses are the teenage energy of those elements, or of that suit. So this happens to be my Sagittarius, because if you haven't noticed, she kind of already knows what she wants, and since it's a fire sign, because it happens to be a wand, that is why this is considered, for me personally, a Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius energy can consist of somebody who knows what they want. They're also very charming individuals, so they can charm their way around any situation for the most part and still get what they want in the process. It sometimes can take longer because you can see how long these branches are and stuff, or these weeds. Sorry, the weeds. You see all that? Like, it took her a long time to achieve victory, but she got what she wanted in the end, you know? She had the courage, which is usually what I symbolize for any, like, buffed out animal. So that is the energy this person is trying to do in this poll. Okay? They're trying to see how to break this pattern in their lives. It'll take them probably a little bit of a long time, or the person around them that they're trying to get answers from is going to take a long time. But they will get victory in the end. And all it's going to take is some balance. So they need to start balancing out their life. Temperance is considered a balancing card. So it's basically your yin and your yang, and it kind of just helps everything flow back into focus. It's a unity card, basically, in some forms. But yeah. So in the end, at this particular reading for health per se, because if somebody asks about health, it's only going to give you usually a small little tidbit about how you're feeling about your health, because I personally don't do actual health. One, I'm not a professional doctor, even though I've watched enough certain medical shows, the real ones, not the fake ones, not your Grey's Anatomy and shit like that. I have watched that, but it doesn't really give you much to work with, and it's not very accurate about how things usually go. I watched a lot of documentaries. I've read a lot of books, and I happen to have a lot of nurses in my family. But it doesn't change the fact that I don't have the proper training, and it doesn't change the fact that a lot of people prefer for their own physicians to take care of that situation. So I prefer to let them choose their own destiny. And that just is part of my clause. Everybody has a choice to change their destiny. So, who am I to stand in their way? I'm not going to. You guys can trot on and do your thing. It's kind of how it works. All right. So now that you kind of get a gist of what a card reading kind of looks like, most card readings are a 3-card draw. So you have your past, like right here. You have your past. So in the past, I just got the Ace of Cups again. So somebody's overwhelmed right now. So in the past, this probably would be even more overwhelming for you. Either that or you're having some newfound emotions about the situation that you've put yourself in. I also got the Hermit and the Eight of Wands. So in the present right now, you're seeking newfound knowledge. Hermits usually take time for themselves. They hide out in a cave. Sorry for that. Oh my goodness. My eye just like twitched doing it. So Hermit is usually a guy who is very knowledgeable because they've sat with themselves and they've been able to dive in deeper into who they are, why they're here, taking time to rejuvenate themselves, reevaluate their situation, taking time to kind of just smell the roses. If you can't tell, he's enjoying the scenery, basically. Even though it may look like he has a lot going on his plate, he's still away from everybody. He's taking it in one step at a time. That's what's happening presently. In the future, this is the future card, the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is basically, this is just my perspective on this card because I'm super tired, so bear with me. But it seems like some of you guys just got this, even though you've protected what you needed to protect. Your ambition isn't hurting any of that. So in the future, even though you have people squawking at you from the other side of this beautiful card right here, I feel like you still have protected what you needed to protect. And I think that's exactly what you were told to do. Your ambitions weren't going to get the best of your family, your investments, because you wisely planned this out. You know exactly where everything needed to go. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm putting down? Your emotions were invested wisely. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good analogy. You invested your emotions wisely because you've given time to yourself now. Because a lot of us, since we used to have the hustle and bustle, and then we had turned most of our lives upside down for that kind of stuff that was going on, the CV stuff, CV-19. Yes, baby.
Can you please have a snack?
I haven't put your snacks in your bag yet.
Remember?
Yes, I do remember. You can grab the strawberries if you want right now, and just chew them on down with your brother and sister.
Yeah, I'll make 3 things I love.
Okay. Hey, I only need one thing. Just do one thing.
The yogurt snack I was doing now.
Honey, all I have is the frozen yogurt thing. I don't have a parfait yogurt right now.
Oh,
I know. I just don't. I'm sorry. I love you.
I'm gonna use the coconuts.
The coconut cream. Yes, you can have that later. Just give me like 20 more minutes. Can you do that? Please? Thank you. Don't cry, honey. I know. It's literally the only thing that you've been craving all day. I know. Okay, and your day just started, so we have plenty of time. Okay, I love you. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, guys, sorry about that. 6-year-old meltdown for fruit, even though she knows how to get it herself. Okay. Alrighty, cool beans. So, that is pretty much what this spread was. Past, present, and future. Usually that is the typical spread most people do when doing readings or doing their own personal reading to themselves. So let's see. When you're using oracle cards, it's similar, but it's a little different because you only get like a vague, kind of a vague perspective because technically it's more of a feeling. Ronan, do you want a banana? Okay. 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I am so sorry. My kids are being very needy this morning. So, bear with me. I just grab this banana for my son, and we will be back in a second. Okay, sweetheart. That's okay. It happens. Here. Oh, thanks, buddy.
So the fish are going.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now go sit down, please. Thank you so much. All right. We're back. How exciting. All right. So, we're talking about oracle cards, how they're a little bit different than tarot. So, this is like the shorthand version of this, guys. So, if you're wanting a deeper one, I could probably start at the beginning of this and do it that way if they want me to. Just depends on how this works. Okay, so oracle cards, even doesn't matter what type of oracle card you get. Most of the time, you can still do a 3-card draw or a past, present, future layout. So, like, let's say here we got. Okay, these are really good. Oh, this is very interesting. You guys are gonna love this. Okay, this deck's a little bit different because it's based on psychology. One person's a psychologist, and the other one is Haven. Haven, he isn't hurting you. Calm down. I know you're a little bit sensitive this morning, but calm down. Thank you. He just wants to tell you he loves you. Okay, so this is more of a psychology mixed with shamanism deck right here. I've used this card deck a couple times with you guys, so you kind of get the gist of my flavors. But yeah, so for this reading, I pulled 3 cards. So this is your past. You guys want to see that? This one says skywriting, I think. Yeah, skywriting. The fates. This is the past. The present is the wheel, the fortune's wheel. Luck and right timing. And then you have the future. And this is a stranger. Curiosity. So, usually you would just knock everything up as fate, is what I'm kind of feeling here. Like, oh, it's a full moon. Looks like I'm going to have a crazy night. Like, symbology was very, very prevalent in your world in the past. Even though you didn't really take any notice to it for the most part, because sometimes it was a little bit clouded away, it didn't mean it wasn't there. And then you have the fortune's wheel for your present. Luck and right timing. So, basically, this is the perfect opportunity for a lot of you. Whatever you've let go of in the past, now you're at the right timing, and luck is on your side for whatever change you're wanting to roll onto. Because the fortune's wheel is technically the wheel of change. It's a cycle breaker. It ends one cycle and begins a new. Pretty similar to the death card. Some people don't even use the death card, and they just use this particular wheel. But even in some oracle decks, they actually still have a wheel of change or a wheel of fortune, or what these people call the fortune's wheel. So presently, this is probably the perfect time for you to do a lot of different things that you wanted to do. And once you get on that footing of what you're wanting to do and get all those juices flowing on that luck stuff, basically, the Stranger card, Curiosity. Curiosity is probably going to be your next step. It's going to make you want to learn things, understand things better. So you can see he's learning pretty much all about all the elements, understanding things. It's kind of like an Avatar card if you're interested in Avatar: Last Airbender. This is pretty similar layout for an Avatar. At least that's my opinion. So you're understanding the spirit world, emotions, ambitions, materialistic things, but you're also being attuned with your dark and light thoughts on all these things. So you're balancing your spirituality, you're balancing your physical body with what you want to learn. And that's awesome. That's going to be a great future for you guys. See? It's all about the details, especially when you're doing oracle cards, because they vaguely just give you a word and they give you some kind of like quote on the bottom. Normally that's what oracle cards do. Some tarot cards are built that way for beginners because some beginners don't really know everything about tarot yet. So if you have like any Radley Valentine cards, he's a really good, amazing deck writer. He has a lot, 2 tarot cards specifically, the fairy ones and the angel ones, I think. The fairy tarot and the angel tarot. And those ones specifically have little quotes of what those things are. And if you're brand new to this and you're kind of trying to still feel out your intuition, those are pretty good beginner cards. And the only reason why I say that is because I experienced that one first. It was really easy for me to catch on to each one very quickly. So, in case you're wondering, how's the beverages, guys? I'm sporting a new beverage cup. This is from a friend of mine. She gave it to me for my birthday. A fancy beverage in a fancy mug. I'm quite smitten with it, I am. Who does? It does have your letter on it. I didn't even realize. Wow. So, in case you haven't realized, my daughter's 6-year-old, the 6-year-old, she happens to be a name with an H in it. And so whenever she sees an H in it, she likes to comment that it's her letter. Like, she's laid claim on this letter. Oh, this is my second child.
Oh, look, it's my round.
Mm-hmm. There's 1, 2, and it's also in Haven's name, too.
What?
Yeah. You guys both have an E in your name. Did you know that? Oh my goodness. The new things you learn. So if you are new, this is Spiritual Chatter Sunday. Sometimes it's in the form of readings. Weirdly enough, we just started talking about what the difference is between oracle cards and tarot cards. So if you swipe through and you start seeing me come off the screen off and on, as you could hear, my children are present. And so I had to lay down my hostess card for 5 seconds and be a mom card for a little bit. You found a wheel. Cool, dude.
This wheel.
Yeah.
This wheel.
Okay, well, you can go take it back to the couch so you don't hurt it.
Show me that wheel.
Okay, are you leaving it right there? Where are you taking it?
I can't get the wheel.
That's my 2-year-old. I can't really ignore him. Hey.
Shoo. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Not hard.
Oh, yes, it is very soft.
It's the wheel.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a car.
Yeah, kind of. It's a horse.
Ha. This is how.
But yeah, like I said, We were kind of just going over those little things.
See? I live on the moon.
I love my children. I do. They're awesome.
You can touch it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate that.
This was going around the system.
How about you let Sissy lay on it? That'd probably be nice.
See, there's a wheel. He touched
Can you let
it.
Sissy lay on her pillow? Because that's Sissy's pillow.
Sissy, put on my pillow.
Well, you can share. There's another one on the floor. But give this one back to Sissy. This one is Sissy's.
No, there was.
Okay, well then show Sissy hers. Can you show Sissy hers?
No.
No.
I did the wheel, going the wheel.
Okay, sounds like a plan, buddy. All right.
Sticker.
Yeah.
Sticker.
All righty, guys. Well, ooh.
You take it.
All right. So two cards fell out, and I'm gonna pull this last bottom one because I feel like that one is the one that's speaking out loud. Hey, Ronan, I need you to go that way, buddy. Ronan. Thank you. Take your guy. Take it with you. All right, I'm throwing it that way. Woo! Playing fetch with my 2-year-old. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Okay, so here we go. So, in the past, some people have been straddling worlds. Yes, they use that exact terminology. No, this is not a gimmick. So you've been wandering between realms. Basically, your spiritual side and your physical side have collided multiple times. Either you've seen things, excuse me, holy crap. Goodness. Okay. I choked on my coffee and my spit at the same time. I was too quick of a swallow. Whoa. Okay. All right. So, basically, you've been wandering between realms, and so basically your spiritual side and your physical side have been colliding with each other multiple times. Like I said, you could see things, shadow figures, you could see somebody's face change, multiple different things. It's a thing. This is all in the past, though. It was more prominent in the past. What, Michael? No. No. Well, guess what? You're not cutting my hair. Thank you. Have a good day. All right. He's using Play-Doh scissors. He wouldn't actually cut my hair, but it's nice to put boundaries. All right. And so, right now, there is a completion. Doors are closing. So, whatever cycles that needed to end, they're ending now. Like, that completion's over with. So, let those doors close. It's okay. Don't let that defeat your purpose. Now, in the future, since those doors are closing, there's going to be a feast of plenty. So the choices and their consequences, basically cause and effect of your choices. So if Ronan Michael... No. Thank you. Well, yes, I'm aware, Bubba. Thank you. Okay, so basically, this card is just saying the choices and consequences that you've done, there's a cause and effect to them. The Feast of Plenty usually represents, it'd be something about, I'm going in slow motion now. Alright, let's see if that works. Okay, so it's basically just implying that whatever you have planted or sown, it's going to be received